Yeah, good morning. So we saw on Friday US market bouncing back very sharply. That was mainly driven by two, three things. One is Apple result, which came post market hour on Thursday, got performed very well and was up by around 4.5% on Friday. So that has supported the market. Apart from that, JP Morgan came up with reports on.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good
Yeah,
morning,
some
all of you.
disturbance are coming, Swati.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. This is
Uh,
Swati.
Swati,
So, can you
I'm
hear
not
me?
yet over. Swati, wait for some time.
Okay.
Swati, mute
So,
your mic.
yeah. So, the other part was that the small banks which were declining consistently bounced back on Friday. That was after the JP Morgan report came up and said that these small banks are very much underpriced, and share went up by almost around 40, 50, and one bank by 80% also. So those bank were beaten down very heavily and got some support from this report. Apart from that, another thing was that the employment data came positive, wherein addition came at two lakh 53,000 versus expectation of 1,85,000, and last month 2,36,000. So in all, a lot of positive data supported the US market, and US market bounces back. Futures of the US market are more of a flattish, and Asian markets taking clue from the US market are positive by almost around 0.5 to 1%. In commodity also, we are seeing positiveness. Oil went up by around $3 from same time Friday prices, and also iron ore and steel in China market today are positive. Iron ore is up by around 1.5%, and steel is up by around 3%. So in all, from all the side, the sentiments from international and commodities are positive and should act similarly for the Indian market. We may see positive trend in Indian market today. I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. This is Swati. Today, the market is likely to open on a flattish note and we're likely to witness some sideways momentum during the day. On the technical front, last week by Friday, we have seen a 1% downside on the Nifty front, whereas it has managed to close above 18,000 psychological mark, which gives some sort of a relief self. Now, going ahead, 18,000 will act as an immediate support level. If it closes below that level, then we expect a fall towards 17,000. 940 to 17,870 levels on the downside. Whereas on high end, as of now, 18,180 will act as a crucial resistance level. If it surpasses that level, then only we can witness some sort of a pullback rally, which might take the Nifty towards 18,240 to 18,300 levels on the high side. The view is a bit cautious because at the higher end, we are witnessing a profit bookings. But it's a stock specific market. One should trade each and every transactions with the strict stop losses. Coming towards the bank nifty has be seen that 2.15 percentage loss on the closing basis on Friday, which gives a little bit cautious sign as of now on the bank nifty front. Technically, the immediate support is placed at 42,420. Any move below that level, we expect more profit booking to be witnessed, which might take a bank nifty towards 42,100 to 41,800 levels on the lower side. Whereas on higher end, as of now, for today intraday purpose, the resistance is placed at 43,320 and 43,600 levels. Now coming towards the Nifty Finance, 18,300 and 18,200 are the support levels we need to keep eye on it. On the higher side, 18,580, 18,750 are the resistance levels. So the overall view is a bit cautious because we are witnessing some sort of a profit bookings into the market. One should be a little bit cautious into the market as long as Nifty sustains below 18,200 levels. That's it from my end. I like to ask Nirav to take a call forward.
Yeah, thank you, Swati.
On the derivative front, Friday was a day where some selling came in. So the data hasn't changed much, but we've got to wait and watch now as to how the trade happens in the next couple of days, because the open interest has shot up. The VIX has also shot up by 5%, but it is still at comfortable levels around the 12 levels. PCR has come down drastically as well. So there are first indications where the data is showing that some selling has come in, and this selling can probably intensify if 18,000 is broken below. So we've got to wait and watch as to how this data turns out. But at this point of time, there's nothing to worry. 18,000 is the stop loss for longs on the future levels. Highest open interest is built up around that 18,000 levels. Even 18,200, 18,100 levels have considerable amount of open interest built up. Yeah, on the Friday session, 18,100, 18,200 call strikes witnessed very aggressive call built up because of the selling, obviously. But yes, that is one area to worry about, because we were seeing 18,500 as the highest built up strike for calls, and now that has shifted to 18,200. So the resistance has come down lower from 18,500 to 18,200. That is a negative. All in all, 18,000 should be the stop loss for longs. That is the most important thing. From the stock specific front, we are seeing still some buying going on in most of the PSU stocks. SBI Life, GNFC did very well. Some short covering action was seen in these stocks on Friday, in spite of Nifty going down quite drastically. We will see some more buying in some PSU stocks. We continue to like ONGC, even though the crude has gone down so much. I don't think the stock has moved down much. Also, there's not much short built up here. So we will see some more buying coming in ONGC, which can take it towards that 170, 175 odd levels. So look out for the same. Yeah, so all in all, yeah, that's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental team to take over, please.
Good morning. On the results front, Federal Bank result was marginally above expectation, although the NIMs were disappointing, where they declined by 20 basis points. So more than the reported numbers, the market was disappointed with the decline in NIMs, as most other private banks have managed to maintain their NIMs or expand even this quarter. Asset quality was stable with slippage of 1%, but because of the decline in NIMs, we are neutral in the near term and positive from long-term point of view. Equitas Small Finance Bank result is above expectation, backed by stable NIM, controlled OPEX, and improvement in asset quality. This was one of the better results that we have seen recently. Loan growth was at 36% year-on-year and 13% quarter-on-quarter at 28,000 crore. Slippage declined sharply to 2.7% versus 4.6% in December quarter, and also net NPA came down to 1.2% versus quarter-on-quarter 1.8%. We are positive on Equitas. DCB Bank result was similar to that of Equitas. Result was good. NIM continued to expand from 4% to 4.2%. Slippage also came down sharply from almost 5% to 3% in the current quarter. And if we exclude the gold loans, then slippages from all other segments are back to pre-COVID levels of just 2%, which is a positive thing. Net NPA also came down from 1.4 to 1%. Some bit of marginal negative news is that the CFO Satish Gundevar has resigned. He had joined 1.5 years back. But overall on the result front, result is good. So because of this marginal negative news, maybe stock might remain sideways in the near term, but from long term point of view, result is good, and stock should do well in the long term. 197 Communications, that is Paytm result, is above expectation. Revenue grew in line at 13% sequentially and 51% year-on-year. EBITDA loss was at 129 crore versus the expectation of loss of 210 crore. So we have seen last couple of quarters, the result has been better than expectations. Losses reduced mainly because of operating leverage, improved payments profitability, and growth in the high margin loan distribution business. Uh, Valuations over the last 1 year have also come down to now EV to sales of just 4 times FY24. So we have been positive on Paytm. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Coal India result was below expectations, mainly due to higher employee expense. Offtake came in at 187 million ton versus 176 million ton sequentially, and 180 million ton year on year. Realization stood at 1881 versus expectation of 1886. EBITDA per ton stood at rupees 369 versus expectation of 491. Margins have also dropped from 30% last quarter to 18% in Q4. The stock is trading at 3.8 times EV by EBITDA on FY24 EBITDA earnings. So, thank you.
Good morning. Britannia Industries Limited has posted the result, and results were above expectations. It has posted a volume growth of 2.5% versus expectation, which was in line with expectation. Revenue grew by 13.3% YOY, and EBITDA margin reported at 19.9%, which were again above the expectation of 17.7%. There are some of the key points which were discussed in the earnings call. That includes during the quarter, the management has received the PLI benefit of 90 crore, which was supposed to be paid from FY21-22. And it expects the PLI benefit of rupees 15 to 20 crore per quarter till next year. The management expects the operating margins to be at an average of 17.5% as a benchmark for FY24. The floor prices, so in terms of inflation, floor prices were up 4% QOQ and 21% YY. The palm oil prices down 6% QOQ and 14% YY. Laminates prices were also down. And corrugated boxes prices were also down. So these four commodities contribute 60% of the Britannia's total purchase. The management is vigilant on comparative pricing actions, where it will continue to monitor the wheat and sugar prices in order to make the right decision with regards to the price reduction or promotion. The stock is trading at a PE of 50 times to FY24 EPS, and the outlook is positive over the long term. Marico Limited result was in line with expectations. The revenue grew by 3.7% YOY. The domestic volume grew by 5% YOY, and the value growth was 1%. About 90 to 85 to 90% of the portfolio was has gained or maintained the market share. And the EBITDA margin reported at 17.5%. The Marico has guided more than 8.5 billion revenue in food business compared to rupees 6 billion in FY23, which shows approximately 40% growth is expected in this segment. The management expects gross margin expansion of 200 and 250 basis points, and the EBITDA margin expansion of 100 basis points in FY24. The stock is trading at a PE of 42.2 times to FY24 EPS, and the outlook remains positive. Gujarat Fluorochemicals Limited result was in line with expectations. The revenue grew by 37% YOY at 1,471 crore. The fluorochemical segment has performed well on account of refrigerants. However, the management expects subdued performance of refrigerants during the quarter. But the newly ramped up production and the manufacturing plants should contribute to the revenue growth in this segment. The fluoropolymer segment volumes remained stable while prices were corrected during the quarter, and it expects the growth in this segment as well for the year.
The EBITDA margin reported at 35% versus the expectation of 35.3%. The stock is trading at a PE of 25.3 times to FY24 EPS, and the outlook is positive for the stock. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, few more results. Twaliket Sugar has reported good numbers. Numbers have improved quarter on quarter, year on year. Though other sugar companies are expected to report a bit declining number, but Thampur has reported comparatively better number, mainly driven by higher sales in ethanol. So this will have a positive impact. And apart from that, outlook on the sugar sector as a whole is positive, considering that the sugar prices post this quarter has shown move up, and looking at the industry scenario, the sugar prices are likely to remain firm up and may even increase from here. So outlook also positive for Nagpur sugar. Apart from that, Bharat Foods announced the result. Company has given a positive outlook, though there is a lower lower demand for CV sales in US in CY24. But looking at the current order book, the current year performance will continue to remain positive. Apart from that, key key market of US for CV, other businesses are showing some positive trend like defense. The defense, they got a very strong order booking of around 2000 crores, and also in that also the near-term target for sales are quite strong. The sales in the last year was at around 360 crores, which is likely to be around 800 crores in the current year. Apart from that, even the US, the export companies, export business, apart from the standalone business, is showing losses in the current year, but which is likely to turn around in the current coming quarter. Company expect Europe to turn around in Q1 and US to turn around in Q3, and overall EBITDA and profitability will be positive. Long-term outlook for the international subsidiary business is around mid-teen margin. So currently the capacity utilization is around 50%, and company has not yet got the full price revisions for the commodity price increases. So that is likely to get effective from this quarter in Europe and thereafter in the US. So both will support the revival of the international business. Apart from that, aerospace business is around 170 crore, and which they expect it to grow to around 500 to 600 crore in 3 years. Overall, seems like domestic CV business is likely to grow, maybe around 8 to 10%. International CV business is likely to remain stable. Passenger business is at lower base, and because of the aluminum plant starting in the US, is likely to grow in the coming period and turn around. And industrial business is anyhow doing well and is likely to improve. So overall seems positive for Bharat Forge from here. Then C8 has reported good numbers, which came day before on Thursday itself, but the outlook company what has given is positive, considering that the decline in the raw material prices was very sharp, and that has improved the margins, and this is likely to sustain in the coming quarter as well. Though there will be a marginal reduction because of the higher rubber prices. Rubber prices were at around 135, 140 rupees in domestic market, which moved up to around 155 current. So that may have some marginal negative, but that will be compensated by the declining crude prices. So that will have a positive side. So in all, margins are likely to sustain at current level. And also sales growth will be supported by domestic sales OEM in CV, and two-wheeler is also expected to show some rebound or revival, and passenger car is also reasonable growth is expected. Export has shown decline of around 11% last year, so that is expected to show some bounce back in the current year. So that will also support the growth. So overall outlook on C8 seems positive. Then result for 10th. So Bosch is likely to report number, and numbers are likely to show positive trend wherein profitability is likely to increase by around 20% year on year. Then Dr. Reddy is likely to report number. Last year, same quarter was very dull quarter, and there was some one-off in that quarter. But uh, if we compare it, on a normalized basis, the results are likely to show improvement with 14% revenue growth. And also the margins are, though quarter on quarter may see some decline, because last quarter and last to last quarter was having some benefit on account of new launches. But now the margins will be normalized and will be at around 25.5%, which is expected to be normal for next year as well. The overall result seems marginally positive. Then exports, we already know that the volume growth was at around 13% year on year. Margins are year on year likely to decline. Last year, the margins were at around 13%, and now expected at 9%. Last quarter, it was at around 8.4%. So result is likely to decline. Godrej consumer result is likely to show improvement with 11% revenue growth, and EBITDA margin also likely to show year-on-year improvement. Though quarter-on-quarter, last quarter there was an exceptionally high margin, so maybe showing some decline as compared to that. Gujarat Grace result is also expected to decline, wherein Q on Q revenue growth is expected at around 2%, but EBITDA margin quarter on quarter is expected to decline from 15.8 to 14%. NG Infra is likely to report good numbers with revenue growth of around 40% and EBITDA growth of around 44% year on year. That's all from us. Now I'll request commodity team to take up from here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So, in today's session, we are likely to witness a pullback in commodities, and one can initiate a buy in gold around 60,000, 650 to 600 levels, and can hold as long as it is holding above 60,600 levels. On higher end, we expect again prices to test 61,000, and in silver, we recommend to buy around 77,000 and maintain a stop loss of 76,400. On upside, we are looking for 77,800 to 78,300 on higher end. Uh, Crude oil prices also are likely to edge higher and test 59, 50, 60,000, 6,000 on upside, and we recommend to buy around 5,800 and maintain a stop loss of 57.40. Natural gas prices have opened high on the upside, and are likely to bounce back till 190, 195 levels. So buying around 175 is recommended, and maintain a stop loss of 165. All in all, prices are consolidating from 160 levels to 200 levels. So as long as it is holding above 160 levels, prices are expected to pull back. In metal front, also prices are likely to edge higher. One can initiate a buy in copper around 742 and maintain a stop loss of 737. On upside, 750, 52 is the target we are looking for. In zinc, also we expect prices to test 242, 245. So buying around 238 to 237 is recommended, and maintain a stop loss of 236. Aluminum also, prices are expected to test 211 to 212. Buying is recommended at 207.5 and maintain a stop loss of 206 levels. That's it from me. I'll ask Utkarsh to take over from here.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Very good morning, all of you. In USG INR, we are expecting a range bound movement in lower side on 81.70 levels, on higher side 81.90 levels. So one can initiate a long position with a stop loss around 81.75 to 81.70 levels with a stop loss of 81.62 levels for the target of 81.87 levels. And one can initiate also short positions around 81.90 to 81.95 levels with a stop loss of 82.02 for the target of 81.80 levels. In Euro INR, one can initiate a long positions around 90.30 to 90.25 levels with a stop loss of 90.09 levels for the target of 90.55 and 90.68 levels. In GBP INR, we are expecting that price going forward more higher. So one can initiate long positions if we get some profit booking and get some levels around 101, 103.36 levels or 102.94 levels with a stop loss of 102.80 for the target of 103.60 and 103.80 levels. So one can initiate also short position and book profit around 103.80 levels. Thank you.